You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Welcome to a podcast we're too damn old for.
Yeah.
So, Tyler and Dave and Ian play old games. This week, we're back to the movie and game draft. Movie and game randomizer with Lethal Weapon.
Yet another example of a game that covers the wrong. I watched the wrong movie.
I have questions about that.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but
Because I was like, who's this Guy Fieri guy between them in the background?
Yeah, it's Joe Pesci, who didn't show up till the second one. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this game is based on Lethal Weapon 2,
Right.
Because we'll get into it.
Okay, good. Because I want.
We have things to discuss about Lethal Weapon,
I've got questions for you.
and I have today a list, TADPOG totals list for Lethal Weapon when we get to that segment.
Okay, great.
So,
Awesome.
Well, before we hit that, what you guys been up to?
I haven't been doing a whole lot of extra TV watching. Been watching a little Parks and Rec. Almost done with that one. I started that when I had COVID because it's kind of a good go-to feel-good show.
It's a great comfort show.
It's a great comfort show. It's joy. It's like Ted Lasso was for me.
I need to watch that still. But it
it's
is joy.
It is joy, and I love the tender moments in that show and the positive. Despite being crude at times, it's a positive message that comes from that show, and it's a positive vibe and feel, and everybody. I love the whole cast. Every single one of them is a diverse sort of character, and I didn't want to put it down. After I got better, I just kept watching. I don't know how far along I am as far as like close to the end, but I really, really liked. I really like Parks and Rec, so I've been watching that. But when I'm not watching Parks and Rec, last week y'all were talking about something that I was curious about, and I got into it a little bit more than I thought I would.
What is it?
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Oh, okay. Have you read all of it?
I've gotten through the first book, and I'm halfway through the second book. They're not terribly long. They're not like
That's what Miller told me. Yeah.
They're not Dark Tower long by any stretch. I think the first book is like 13 hours.
You doing the audiobook version?
Yes, and that is the way to fucking do it.
Okay, so
good. First and foremost, I fucking love this book.
Okay, all right.
Loved. I cannot get enough. And I don't know if I would like it as much if I wasn't listening to it on Audible. It's exclusive to Audible. You can't get it anywhere else.
The audiobook version. Is there a Dead Tree version? I assume that there probably is.
I don't know what that means.
Like a book, like with pages.
Oh yeah, I think it's a book.
Okay.
But
the
audio book is exclusive to Audible.
Okay.
It is. The book is written by a guy named Matt Dinneman, whose writing style is right up my alley. I love his writing style, and there's some stuff in this that's very similar to like a Ready Player One kind of deal. And he does make references to things, but number one, it's not exclusively 80s and 90s shit. There's a couple of little things sprinkled in there, but the way he writes Carl, the main character, is, and this book takes place from a modern perspective. So there's references to modern things too, but it's not like overloaded with Easter egg references to, oh my gosh, I used to watch that show when I was a kid, or just a bunch of like invitations to be hipsters or gatekeepers about things. It's subtle, it's peppered in just the right way. The dialogue between the main character Carl and his cat Donut is second to none. The guy that narrates this book, that reads it, his name is Jeff Hayes. And at first, his voice kind of took me by surprise because he reads Carl like this. It's kind of like he's got this weird sort of almost John Wayne sound to his voice. Dude, I cannot tell you how much I enjoy this book because of the narration. This guy is a fucking fantastic narrator.
Okay, I'm gonna read this.
Dude, I cannot look. I get, you know me, I get overly excited about things and I hype things up and I get people excited and then they're like, "What?"
But you're not the only person who's told me that this is a good series. Several friends have told me this is a good series.
If they don't make this into a fucking movie or a TV show, I will be fucking shocked. But what's really, really great about this is that the way this book is read by Jeff Hayes, it is absolutely not necessary to make it into a movie. He keeps the listener engaged. Tons of different voices. There's some sound effects in, not a whole lot, just enough to sort of accentuate what he's talking about, or if like he's being communicated with over like, say, like in a radio type style, the voice might sound like it's coming through a radio. And as far as I know, every voice is him. And I've read that this guy has like this intensely serious range. And if that's the case, he's the guy actually doing every single voice in this book. I can see why he was picked for this job, because he was made for this. This was the studio. If you'll bear with me, I need to look up
Studio Ghibli?
No.
Trigger?
No. In absolutely no way is it associated with anime.
Well, I'm out.
Sound Booth Studio. Sound Booth Studio is the name of the production company.
Okay.
And apparently, in the credits of the first book at the end, he talks about how they put on like shows, like you can go and see them live and they'll do like,
Is it a reading, or is it like
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a reading and then they provide, Foley and sound while they're doing the readings live. I don't know what it is, but they were hyping it up and it is such a good book. It took me by, I had never heard of it. I had never heard anything about it until you mentioned it to me or on the show last week.
Yeah.
And I thought, fuck, I'll give it a try. Why not? I can't tell you how glad I am that just randomly came up.
Cool, man.
Because I fucking love these books.
I've heard a lot of people say really good things about it, but none of them have been as passionate about it as you just right now. Like, it's been on my list. It's kind of been on there, It's like, okay, a lot of people have said this is good, and I trust that, but none of them have spoken like you have, where it's like, well, okay, and now I really
I think you guys would dig it the most. I really do, and I think it's got a lot to do with the way that it's read and the way that it's produced. I think that makes it sort of the better. I think listening to this in audiobook form is the best way to listen to it. It comes across more like I don't want to say a radio play, because again, it's not overloaded with sound effects and bullshit like that, but
it's entertaining.
It's so entertaining to listen to.
And if they're doing like a stage thing, like a production out of it, then
see, I don't know if that's what they do, if that specific book is it. I just know that the studio themselves, they put on performances.
Okay.
It may not be of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I got you.
Again, I haven't looked any further into it.
But even still, if the studio was doing stuff like that,
Yeah.
I mean, it speaks to what I would expect from the audiobook, especially with what you're saying.
Yeah, you can hear passion in this project, and you can hear the Jeff Hayes, the narrator. I mean, this guy is fucking good at his job. And
in relation to Willie Mays Hayes?
Probably. They're probably little distant cousins, if I had to guess. But man, I burned through the first book. I could not stop listening to it. And the second book is different enough. Like, I mean, it's the same stuff, and I'm not going to get into the story. I'm not going to get into any of it because I want every bit of it to be a surprise to the listener.
I'm gonna listen to it,
but
for sure.
Holy shit, guys. I mean, this was my favorite surprise recently of something that I just went from not knowing anything about to being passionately engaged in. So I don't always rate books on my 5-star scale, but as you might have guessed, Dungeon Crawler Carl gets a solid 5 stars. Wisdom Sage says, please, please, please check it out. I want this to be out to as many people as possible, and I would love to discuss it with you guys.
Okay. I just made my Audible credit for the month on a Sanderson book. But
what's good, Audible right now, at least as of the time of this recording, for me, the books were only like $17. The first and second book were only like $17 a pop, which to me is fine. That when they start getting into the $30 range, I start to wonder. But they're on sale for like $17. I think they're normally like $25 or something. So either save up and use your credit next month, or buy it now. But I do recommend it. And then the next thing I was just going to bring up is that I got a MetaQuest 3, and now one with virtual reality, although I haven't had a lot. Unfortunately, I buy this big, expensive thing, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to spend with it because I've got to get up and go to work in the morning. And,
right.
And then we just got them this past weekend. So I've just been experimenting with different stuff and trying to get used to it. But one of the things I found out was that I hate wearing the headset with my glasses on.
Yeah. But
I can't not wear my glasses because it treats it like distance vision. And that's where my problem is distance. Well, I'm 50, so
I'm 50.
My eyes are bad in both directions now. I can't see up close. I gotta have.
I get it.
Bifocals
and I've got that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I got bifocals, and now I have worse distance vision, all that stuff. So I don't like it. So I was watching a video. I've been more immersed in videos on YouTube about the MetaQuest than the thing itself, because now that I have it, I want to know what I can do with it, what its limitations are. I found that, like, you can't share apps across accounts. There is no family version of the Meta Plus subscription if you wanted that.
Yeah.
I think that's dumb.
It really sucks because, like, I'm not the same problem, but a similar problem is that I want to play Gorilla Tag with Henry. Henry loves Gorilla Tag. He plays it on the Quest 2.
Yeah.
I want to play with him on the Quest 3. We want to play together. But the problem is he's signed into my account because I don't want him to have a Meta account.
Right.
Because he's 9.
Right. And it's a lot easier to just wander in and be around other people at random in the Horizon, Meta Horizon, or any kind of lobby. You just never know who you're going to run into. So I can see why you would want to do that. Well, and the other thing is, Tanya and I made very bad impulsive decisions over the weekend, and we bought 2 of them.
I thought I heard you say them earlier.
She has one, and I have one.
Yeah.
And that was terrible. It was terrible, irresponsible decision.
Sounds like fun, though.
But it's fun.
You can have Demolition Man sex with both of them set across.
Oh, we got to see if that's a thing.
That is true.
But anyway, I've been playing with that. But the thing I don't like is the fact that I've got to wear my glasses. So I'm watching this video of all this stuff. You can get lenses.
I've got them.
I didn't know.
They're cheap.
They're fucking cheap as hell. I paid like $60 for a pair from this company called, I don't know why I'm plugging all these things tonight, Reloptics.
Yeah, that's where I got mine.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great.
I heard a really good thing. That was like the best review. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
Those should be coming maybe next week. I'm excited to be able to put my headset on and not have my glasses on.
That's why I went to the eye doctor.
Is that right? To get a fresh prescription?
To get a prescription. Yeah, because they wouldn't take my old prescription because it was
out
old.
of date. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, it's a good time to get a prescription as any.
So I went to there and I ordered a pair because they got out of all of, apparently I didn't know that so many eyeglass manufacturers make these inserts specifically for the MetaQuest.
Yeah, I didn't realize that
and
either.
So I was watching that review of them, and this Reloptics was the one that came up as the best. They polarize them to help keep the shine down,
right.
and they can take, even if you have like a prescription like mine, which is progressive, meaning the top of my lens is distance, the middle of my lens is intermediate, and then a bifocal at the very bottom for looking up close. They'll take that prescription and reduce it to just distance vision because that's apparently what you're supposed to have. And that's my problem because I have to look through a specific part of my lens to see specific things.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the headset, I can't. Sometimes the bottom of my lenses are lined up with the center of my vision, and I'm like having to twist my head around, but the thing's attached to my fucking head, so I can't do anything about it. It just drives me crazy.
Sure, yeah.
So apparently this solves that problem. I'm really glad to know that you had done that.
Them. And that they go in real easy.
And, okay.
I mean, it's
awesome.
And they come out easy too, so yeah, they're great.
And Tanya wears glasses as well, but I wanted to buy a set of these for myself because first of all, my vision's a lot worse than hers, and second of all, I wanted to make sure I wasn't dropping even more money on something that wasn't going to work.
Yeah,
but now that I've heard that they work for you, mine should be here soon, so we'll probably pick her up some. So that problem should be solved pretty soon. The only thing I've really actually kind of screwed around with is this app called Big Screen.
Yeah.
Which is really neat. You can stream stuff from your computer to the app, and then inside the app, it looks like you're sitting in a giant movie theater or sitting in a drive-in or something, which is neat, and it works pretty well. And there's a social aspect to it where people will make like their rooms public, and you can go in and watch movies that they're streaming. Be careful, because sometimes there's porn. Sometimes they're streaming porn.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Henry spent time in big picture, like watching YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, I think
I haven't heard porn noises coming out of the headset.
No, I think you can specify that you don't want adult content.
I'm going to check that.
But yeah, you might, just in case. But it's a neat app. I'm trying to set it up so that Tanya and I can watch. We love to watch movies, and I'd love to be able to. She and I could just sit in our living room, and watch a movie as if we're sitting in the theater, because we never go to the theater, so that would kind of like emulate that experience. But anyway, I don't have a lot to report on that one right now, but it's fun, and I think I hope we're gonna get the use out of them that comes from spending the kind of money we did to get them.
Yeah.
But so far I've enjoyed it.
Cool.
And we'll see how that goes.
It's awesome, man.
I know Brew Pounder's probably real excited to hear that I'm in. I got a VR headset. Yeah, they're big into it.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all got some tips or tricks or things you think I should try with my headset, feel free to reach out on Discord, bit.ly/TADPOG Discord.
We have a VR channel.
That's right. I forgot about that. I'll have to check that out.
Yep.
Never mind. I'll go there. You don't have to come to me. I'll come to you. And that's all I got.
Cool. That's awesome, man. Yeah, man, I got to check out Dungeon Crawler Carl for sure.
God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so I'm going to, what I'll probably do is I haven't, since we last recorded, I haven't touched Wind Through the Keyhole. I think I might do a dungeon crawler Carl as like a palate cleanser.
A gap year.
And then
a gap book.
Yeah. And then
French leave.
Try to get back into it.
French leave from the Dark Tower.
You're right.
Yeah. And it won't take long to get through it. It moves too fast, honestly, for me. I wish it were longer, but the good news about that, I think, is that there's like 5 books already. So there's plenty to keep me occupied, at least for the next probably, 2 weeks if I keep it up at this rate. But
yeah, you're going at a pretty good clip for sure.
Anyway,
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. Started leveling Warrior, which I mentioned I think last week. Still doing that. That's still fun. I got it's an old glam. Are you familiar with the term glam?
I am in the terms of David Bowie.
Okay.
In the terms of the Dark Tower.
Okay.
Or an illusion spell.
It's okay. So it pretty much is an illusion spell where you can
vampires
make you can make armor you're wearing look like other armor.
Okay.
As long as you can equip it.
So is it like the way it looks factor or an intimidation factor?
Well, it could be one or the other.
You can look like a blue mage but play as a warrior.
No, because if it's blue mage specific gear, you can't wear it as a glam as a warrior. It has to be something that you can...
So tied to your class.
It's tied to your class.
Gotcha.
And if it's a higher level than you are, you also can't wear it as a glam. It's essentially...
Is that you get around wearing the shitty, stupid armor? Like
you can definitely.
I remember Subla gear or whatever. That's a thong in 11 that no one wanted to wear.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk is like that. Cyberpunk is like that too. You can deck out your armor with all these mismatched pieces of things to give yourself great stats, but then you can sort of veneer it with a business suit or a biker suit type of thing. Okay, gotcha. It's like a cover for what you're actually wearing. Yeah. It confused the shit out of me when I first started doing that in Cyberpunk. I'm like, wait, what am I actually wearing? It took me forever to understand what they were doing.
It's confusing in Final Fantasy 14 as well.
Is it really?
Because it's also it's beneath this like Square Enix complicated system as well, where it's like, man, now that I understand it, I'm good. But like, I had to have someone explain.
It's a learning curve for sure.
Yeah, and it's like it feels like there shouldn't be a learning curve for something that's
it's
purely
like
cosmetic.
It would be like if you had to like go to school to learn how to put on a raincoat,
But I got one for Warrior that I really like. I fought Odin. And he drops this like, it's old content, but I mean he drops this like really awesome set of armor that's just jet black, and then there's like this helm, right? That's got like, it's a black helm that
like
matches
antler helm.
Yeah, it's got the antlers on it, and the eyes are just like white, like Ninja Turtle eyes, like from the Eastman and Laird. Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. I love it. And then I started leveling a healer. I started leveling Scholar, which I really, really like that. It's so much fun. It's so different than DPSing. You also DPS, but there's this extra level of like making sure no one dies. And if they do die, trying to res them. I had my first experience right before we recorded, actually. Sorry, I was late.
The truth comes out.
Where there was running a dungeon. There's a sprout tank. They're completely new to the dungeon. Not a big deal. But what it means is like doing a lot of extra work. And I had my first experience where we were fighting a boss. The tank died. I was able to swift cast a res on the tank and get him up and healed before the party wiped. Because when the tank dies, it's chaos.
Yeah.
Because like the boss now all of a sudden is like, okay, who's dealing the most damage to me? All right, you're going to die.
I've been keeping track.
So that was fun. I mean, we did it, got the recovery, and then finished the dungeon, and
nice.
It's fun. It's cool, but I also like it's like at level 50s. It's like 55.
Yeah,
and that's like kind of low level content, and I like that low level content. It gets once you get to like near level cap of 90s. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm worried it's going to be like fucking
too much
complicated. Like I'll be in the Dogen, like flipping all the switches.
God, you're gonna love Dungeon Crawler, Carl.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really glad.
Just listening to you talk about Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it.
Cool.
You're gonna fucking love it.
Been doing some hunt trains in Final Fantasy as well, which is new to me.
What's that?
So there are, if you're familiar with Final Fantasy 11, in 11 there were these notorious monsters that would just spawn out in the world, and they were tougher than regular monsters, and they were on a timer, so they would only spawn, let's just say, once an hour.
Okay.
Those exist also in Final Fantasy 14, but what happens is people organize outside of the game on Discord. Someone will scout them all out, and generally the rule is if you see one out in the wild, they're probably going to kill you anyway.
Right.
So people typically won't attack them, and then out of courtesy, people won't attack them because they know that a train will come through. And a train is someone scouts them all out, reports on Discord, and then a conductor plots the course. Like fucking 50 people get together, party up, and then you just fly around, land, blow up a monster, penny stocking style. Mount up, fly to the next one, kill that one, and it is it's a lot of fun. Those are like some of my favorite people in the game because they're all just fucking goofballs, and it's like it's a party essentially, and like there are memes that are like exclusive to hunt trains that I've learned that I've never heard anywhere else in the game, and it's like, all right, these guys are like, this is a good thing. This is a positive.
All right.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun.
Cool. That does sound like fun. That sounds like some shit we used to get into in Ultima.
Yeah.
We would gang up and be like, yo, there's a house about to fall. Big battle coming.
Yeah, just without the conflict, really.
Right, right.
But yeah, it is a lot like that. It's really cool because like if the group's real big, the conductor will say things like, okay, DPS, slow down. Not everyone, you're dealing too much damage. Not everyone has made it here yet. Right. And then you just see people like turn around, like not attack until like people land. It's cool. It's a cool thing.
That sounds like fun.
And then other than that, I really have only been, I got Hades 2.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I've started that. I'm not super far into it, maybe like 3 hours. I do like it. Tyler, I know you're playing it. You streamed it.
You streamed it a little bit, didn't you? Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. If we can have like maybe just a mini conversation. What do you think?
I really like it.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. I'm interested in getting other weapons because I feel like the staff is a little slow, but really like it. I love that there are way more options. There's more shit to do instead of just build your shop or unlock a music track. I like that there's more shit at base camp for you to do.
Gotcha.
I like that a lot. I like
it seems smaller too, like in a good way, more compact. Base camp does.
Yeah.
I don't know if it expands, but I remember in Hades 1 being like waiting for loading screens, going to like, I guess my room or whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's very cohesive when you get around. I like this tarot card grasp system more than the mirror in the first one.
Yeah.
You can, redo your build based on how much grasp you have and the weapons you have. I like more loadout options, then change your weapon.
Yeah.
So far, I'm still trying to learn. So I've had a few good runs. I've gotten about halfway through the second layer. I had a really cheesy build that got me through the second half.
What was your build?
I got lucky and got a dataless hammer that let me do. Every time I pressed special, I did it twice instead of once.
That's awesome.
So, and then I got Demeter, so I had freeze on all those.
Demeter is my fucking
on my
go-to.
special. So I was, and it was seeking.
Oh, on your special.
Yeah. So it was seeking and freezing, and I did two at once. So I would just like walk around, just I got real fucking far with that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until then in Oceanus there's a lot of projectiles, a lot of projectiles.
Yeah,
so my stand still and hone,
and you hit the pipes
tactic,
on the side of the wall and shit. Yeah, and they blow up on you. Yeah.
So the boss, like there was a boss like Sea Serpent that like we took a huge chunk out of me, and then it was just whittled me down over time after that.
So this is only on Steam right now, right?
I think you can buy it from the Supergiant store.
Oh, I have no idea.
And I think if you don't want to buy it on Steam, you can buy it still on PC, I assume. I don't know if there's a Mac. I don't know if there's a Mac version on Supergiant or not.
Well, I've got an Xbox, which I know the console release is probably not, they're not going to put it out in beta. But, I'm pretty much committed to Xbox. I don't have a handheld anymore.
Right.
So it's probably going to, if I want to play the beta, it's going to probably have to be on PC. Although if they had a Mac version, I'll look because if they do, then I'll just play it on my Mac. That'll be fine. But
because then just it popped up in my head. I had a good Dash and Scorch attack build too. Because man, holy shit! Poseidon's Dash, where you just ride the wave around for huge damage.
I haven't used that in Hades 2 yet.
Oh,
does
man.
it work the same as it does?
It takes a fuck ton of magic. But I lucked out and got the Demeter boon where stand still for a second and your magic refills.
Yeah.
So I would just do that and then try to hide for a second and then go around again. And my attack was super strong with Scorch from Hestia. That's the first time I beat the Hecate was with that.
Dude.
Hestia, I don't know that I've gotten Hestia yet.
Yeah, they got us a fire, Hearth and Home and Fire.
No, I sure haven't. I haven't found Hestia. Have you gotten, who's the armorer? Who's the blacksmith god? Hephaestus.
I haven't had Hephaestus yet. That's awesome. I didn't know he was in it.
I didn't like Hephaestus at first, but I had a really good run where I had a boon from him where it's like your special has a chance to deal 400 points of damage in a burst.
Yeah.
And then that was really nice. And then I was able to upgrade that. And then I got a duo with him and Apollo, which increased the radius of the explosion.
I haven't got a duo boon yet. That's awesome.
That's the only one. That's the first and only one that I found so far. I bought it from Karen's shop.
I'm ready for his official art. Because he's just the cloak.
Think that's not it?
No, I watched the beta and they said that if you see the cloak, it's not. They haven't finished it yet.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. And then there's also some background art that you might have noticed, where it's like that's not finished. Where it was, I can't remember what gods, but it's like it looks like it's just kind of like roughly put in.
Yeah,
not really detracting. I don't think. I mean, and
I was surprised Hestia's art was finished because in the beta test that I watched, Hestia wasn't, and then by the time I started, she was. But I noticed Charon still hasn't been finished.
I like it. I think it's good. I think it's tough for me because I haven't played Hades 1 in a long time. So it's tough.
It plays a little differently still.
It does. And me coming into it having not played Hades for a minute, to me it feels very similar. It feels almost too much the same for me. But then again, like I said, if I would have played Hades 2 weeks ago, I'd probably notice the differences that exist.
That makes me want to try it more because I have recently played Hades a lot. I went through a phase before it kind of fades. I'd like to see it. And apparently, if you have, it can be run on a Mac. You just have to have something like Parallels or Crossover, which I will probably get anyway because I've been looking for an excuse to have something like that on my Mac. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do because I think it would look amazing on this little guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'll be right behind you guys.
Sweet. You'll probably pass me because I mean, I was talking to Grim about this yesterday, where it's like, man, Hades 2 is awesome. I do like playing it. I do like playing Final Fantasy 14 more.
Yeah. I'm going to have that problem too because Overwatch. I mean, I have the same Overwatch problem that you have with Final Fantasy.
It's not a problem. I mean, for me.
Well, you know what I mean. And I don't mean problem. I mean preference. Let's say preference.
Yeah.
That's what I want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you had it right the first time. It's a problem.
It's been fine. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, Hades 2 is really good. And
because I saw some dude on YouTube was like doing like Pact of Punishment shit already. It's like, good Lord.
I hear I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't like done any research on the game. I heard it's longer. I don't know if it's just for.
Does that mean there's more levels or just more story?
Because I guess really you're inverted, right? Because now you're on the outside and you're trying to get into Hades, into Tartarus, where Kronos is. Is that the theme?
I assume. I like how the story is being told.
Yeah.
Because you're really not told everything up front. You kind of piece it together. From the way I understand it, yeah, you're at the crossroads, and you're trying to defeat Kronos, who you've been told is now at the throne, right, of Hades.
I love that it's Hecate. I've always loved Hecate. Hephaestus is my favorite god, period, but I've always loved Hecate too. So far it's like scratching all the itches that I really, really wanted to see.
I'm glad. I mean, this is a real basic statement, but I'm glad to see Apollo. I thought it was weird that Apollo was at the first game.
That's what Anna said too. Apollo's like her favorite god, so she yeah.
I like the fact that Demeter is in it.
Yeah.
Demeter was my fucking jam.
I got Aphrodite last night
She's
in
awesome.
Oceanus.
You got who?
So, Aphrodite.
Aphrodite.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got Aphrodite. I'm still not a huge fan of Aphrodite.
Yeah. I hope Dionysus is in it. I haven't gotten Dionysus
I haven't
yet.
gotten Dionysus
or Hermes.
yet.
I know Hermes.
They talk about Hermes.
From what I saw
don't think we're gonna get Hermes.
the fates list said meet the instigator and meet the messenger was like a goal on what the fates list that I got. So I assume that's Hades or Hermes rather.
Yeah, probably Messenger is probably Hermes. I met somebody. I met a shadowy figure. I don't know if you've met them yet or not. I don't know who that is.
I've
the one that
I
donated.
figured out who that was.
The one that donated Flopsy. Oh no, that's Shadow. Sorry.
You said you figured out who that is.
I unlocked something that then revealed who it was.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But I like that you gather more resources. So I got the mine, the pick, so you get more silver to unlock more weapons, and I just unlocked the spade, but I haven't used it.
Yeah.
So you gather flowers. I saw there's a fishing rod, so I'm trying to. My next goal is get the fishing rod. I'm halfway. I think I need to get 1 bronze, and then I can make the fishing rod. But what else? All the weapons, all the tools, all the ingredients to cast the spells to do different effects in the game. Like, no, it's gonna be
all
really
that
good.
conjuring is that's neat. I
Yeah.
think that's cool. I think it's great, especially like for $30.
Oh yeah,
I think it's fantastic. I don't have any complaints other than I wish I could tell the difference between. I mean, aside from those big systems,
yeah.
the gameplay. I don't know. I wish I could like see. I just need to go back and play Hades for a couple minutes and be like, oh, okay, that's what they changed.
Well, I didn't like that I had to, because I remember in Hades, like I would attack and then I could just immediately move. But with the staff, if you start attacking, it sort of locks you into the animation unless you dash. So I was getting hit a lot because I was trying to move, but I would end up hitting again and again until I figured out dash breaks the combo and you can get away. That's the only thing I've been like, that feels weird. I like being able to just move.
I've only unlocked one other weapon, and I prefer the staff.
Yeah, because I just unlocked the sister blades or whatever. I haven't tried those yet.
Not a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Not a fan. No, because you'll probably love it, honestly.
Because the fists are my favorite weapon in Hades 1, like by a mile.
I think you'll like them because, I mean, I think we're in a Tiger Zord versus Dragons. I can't remember what they were in Fighting
Tiger
Edition.
Megazord and the
Moon Dragon
Samurai Sword.
because I like I like the staff because of the reach. I don't have to get close in to enemies. But with the sister blades, you have to be right. You gotta be in there.
Okay, because the staff does have reach and like width. Like it's a big
Brooks.
Yeah, it's a real Kirk
It
Brooks.
is. Yeah, big fan. It's nice. I do. I plan to put more time into it. It's just tough to want to play anything else because what I want to do is level scholar and warrior. And,
I get it.
Because that definitely that puts me in a zone that like only MMOs really will put me in a zone where it's like, okay, this is therapy. You know what I mean? I don't get that from Hades, but Hades is fun.
Melissa and I started and finished Baby Reindeer.
How'd you feel about Baby Reindeer?
We both really liked it.
It's great.
Not what I expected.
Yeah,
not at all what I expected. And I'm glad it's being told. Because I've heard like awareness and calls and donations for like male sexual assaults have gone like through the roof because of it.
Yeah, it's tough to explain. It's one of those things you kind of have to see it to get it. So,
and of course, Piers Morgan has to have the real woman on to defend herself.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. I didn't know that all the emails you see in the show are real.
Oh my God.
Every bit of that is real. The typos, everything.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, so he because the actor who plays it happened to him, and he all the emails are real.
True. I knew it was a true story. I didn't know that was the real shit. The emails and the texts and all that.
Yeah,
man. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it.
Oh yeah,
and I think it's gonna go a long way towards spreading that kind of awareness. I mean, it's an extremely entertaining show.
Because I felt bad. I felt terrible for Donnie in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But also just wanted to choke the shit out of Donnie at the same time.
Exactly. It makes you, it gives you this sort of love-hate kind of deal going with him.
Like you get mad, but realize it's the trauma. But at the same time, it's like, dude.
Do something. Don't do that. Don't do that. Tanya and I were watching it and literally screaming at the TV, don't do that. What are you doing? You get really invested into what's happening to him and what's happening with her, and it's good shit. I'm glad you guys were able to watch it.
And the actress who plays Martha is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, she's fucking great.
She better win like a Golden Globe or some shit.
There needs to be something.
Fantastic.
There needs to be several awards handed out for that one. Really, it really does. Probably be Emmys because it's a series.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you there.
So again, Hades 2. Talked about that, and then I started laying my floor.
Oh, good.
The handyman started doing that. Ripped up some laminate and found, oh, look, water damage. So we caught that, and now I'm got a fan going inside to dry that out where my bathtub was leaking into my kitchen.
I guess now's the time to find that.
Yep.
Good thing you didn't put in, thousands of dollars of new flooring and then have to fucking pull it all up again.
Yep.
Oof.
So
house ownership is awesome, isn't it? I love it. I love it.
I just paid off, the oven that burnt out. And
Hell yeah.
And then the washer and dryer that finally came in. So now floor payments.
You own your appliances, though. That's got to be empowering.
Well, after having to go to the laundromat, yes, it is.
Technically, I paid off my roof.
Hell yeah.
I refinanced my mortgage, and in that mortgage, I rolled the cost of the roof into that, and so I was able to call the finance company today that was going to charge me 14% interest over fucking 15 years or something, just whatever it was, and say, hey, y'all are going to be getting a check from my bank to pay off the loan. No thousands of dollars of interest for you.
Yeah.
That's what you get for no penalty for early payoff, suckers.
Yeah, I got to pay off my Care Credit card. So Care Credit, that it's actually a card for medical purposes, but a lot of dentists will take it so you can pay over time at the dentist instead of lump sum.
Right. Because them dentists, they want their money
it's fucking
now.
Awful. And then
it's their money.
and they need it now. So I got some dental work done on it, and they have no interest for a long time. So I was paying it off bit by bit. And then the interest kicked in. I didn't really realize how much it is.
And it's all of it.
Yeah, it's like 33%. It's like, good Lord.
It's the interest that you didn't pay on up to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of credit cards
Gotta finish
will do
that
that
off
to you.
fast.
When they say 6 months, same as cash, pay it off in 6 months, or they're gonna get you for all that interest you didn't pay for that first 6 months.
Yeah, it's not a big amount, but when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's next priority.
yeah. Gotta whittle that down.
Other than that, I don't got much else to go. You guys want to do a draft?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Pick a random topic that we could draft
That we haven't talked about prior.
at all.
Well,
or
Dave, you said a duo boon is what you got. Let's do duos.
Oh,
That was a good idea.
because we're doing a movie about a duo.
Duos.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, I don't know if I could come up with anything.
The duo of Gary Busey and the dad from Dharma and Greg.
Ooh, that's a good one.
All right, Dave, pick a number 1 through 6. 2 numbers.
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Ian.
3 and 1.
1 and 3, 2 and 4. So I've got 5 and 6. 1.
Me.
Ian. Me. Dave. All right. Ian, number 1.
My number 1, I think, will be a fan favorite. Tyler and Dave.
Oh.
That's a good one. I like that. That was sweet. That's a sweet one. You get that one for free. Now what's your real one?
Now pick a good one.
Nope, that's my number 1. Tyler and Dave.
Then for mine, about as iconic as Tyler and Dave, Jesus and Satan.
Oh.
Dave, you're number 1.
Did it hurt when he fell from heaven?
Yeah. Hurt all of humanity. Condemn them to hell.
I will start with so many options to choose from. It's a wealth of
So much room for activities.
I know. I'm
There's
gonna
another duo for you right there.
I'm glad me and Tanya aren't the only one that use that on the reg. Every time we rearrange furniture, we always helicopter around the room and go, so much more room for activities.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
I love when the voice actors for Goku and Vegeta did that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
I'll go with Batman and Robin.
Very good one. It was on my list.
Me too.
Specifically 66 Batman. Adam West and Burt Ward. So if you guys want to do a different Batman and Robin, I feel like that's on the table.
My turn?
Your turn.
My second one, I'm still getting used to some new glasses here. I can't see my screen. My second pick is going to be Bo and Luke Duke.
Okay.
From the Dukes of
Duke
Hazzard.
Brothers.
Them Duke boys are at it again.
My number 2 will be Penis and Vagina.
Oh, I like that
classic.
duo a lot.
Dave, number 2.
Much like Penis and Vagina, I'm going to go with Chippendale.
Also on my list.
Much like penis and vagina.
I'll let the listener decide which is which.
My number 3, you guys aren't going to get this yet. Carl and Donut from Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Of course I get it. Donut's his cat.
Yes. Donut's his cat.
My number 3 will be one of my favorite duos that made me laugh very hard. Jim Leahy and the Liquor.
Who is that now?
Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, I've been told by several people that I need to watch that, and I never have.
Oh my God. Melissa is extremely selective about comedies. She prefers
So
drama
is Tanya.
100 to 1. But Trailer Park Boys, I can always put on and she'll laugh her ass off.
That's
and loves it.
That's the one comedy that Tanya has absolutely tried to get me, that she's watched that I haven't, and she's been trying to get me to watch it. So
Jim Leahy is one of the best characters. Like if I were to put a top 10 characters in TV shows I've ever watched.
Character and TV show draft next week.
Yep. Or Jim Leahy is on the list. No one plays a better drunk in any form of media.
I know who he is. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's in everything.
Yep.
Yes, I didn't. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I saw a snippet from that show. Because he carried, he said it was a thing where he was like, I carry a breathalyzer, so I always know
just
sweet spot.
Bit.
Just enough to drink to get me to that sweet spot, so I'm not too drunk, but I'm not sober.
Just enough so that I'm happy, and just enough so that I'm good when I'm doing it.
He was also in Devil's Rejects, if that for what it's worth.
He passed away last year, I think.
That sucks.
The show, they haven't really done a normal season since.
Okay.
They did an animated one where they used clips of his voice, and they did a season where they're in jail, and he's not there.
Okay. Dave, you're up.
Well, I'll go with this duo since my heart just about stopped when you said because they make me laugh. I was like, fuck, he's going to take it. Chris Farley and David Spade.
Nice.
Yep. You and I have similar lists.
That is an excellent pick.
Even when they do even when it's the same sketch. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. My next pick will be in the vein of Step Brothers, Ricky Bobby and Carl Naughton Jr.
Okay.
Love them. Love Talladega Nights. That's one I'll watch every time it is on. I love it.
I believe perhaps Brandon of Axelay fame is an extra in the crowd in Talladega.
Oh my God.
Is that the case?
Baby Mama.
Oh, was it Baby Mama?
Baby Mama, he has an extra in. Yep.
Okay. I haven't seen Baby Mama. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Oh,
yeah,
the one with Tina Fey?
Because Tina Fey. But
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Okay. I've seen it, but now I've got to watch it again and try to find Brandon.
Find Brandon in the crowd.
Yeah, okay.
It was be my fourth, so I'm glad you brought it up. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a fucking great pick.
Because one of my favorite SNL sketches of all time is the Meet Your Future Wife.
God, dude, I showed that to John just the other day. I was laughing so hard at that. the pregnant one comes out. She's like, "Oh, well, that's not bad. She's pregnant with your second wife."
Yeah.
And they always, the way they'll cut to the wives in the audience, and it's just got that, if looks could kill. It's fucking great.
Ian, number 4.
Dave is up.
It's me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. Yeah.
I will go with Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Ooh, I love it.
He's always stroking his own Wookiee.
Chewbacca! What a Wookiee! Ian, number 5.
My number 5 is Stewie and Brian from Family Guy. I love when they do the time travel ones.
That's a good pick.
All the musical ones where it's just
really
them.
good
It's so good. Oh, this last one is hard.
Can we go to 10?
I can easily go to 10.
Easily.
Want to go to 10?
Yeah, let's go to 10. So then my number 5, Goku and Vegeta.
Okay. All right.
Dave, number 5.
Piccolo and Gohan?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. The other father son.
It's Piccolo Day. We're recording on Piccolo Day.
Oh.
Ian, number 8 or number 6.
My number 6, also an anime pick, Tanjiro and Nezuko Kamado from Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I still need to watch that show, man.
I need to get back into
it. Something I enjoyed as a kid, still enjoy it sometimes now. Peanut butter and jelly.
There we go.
Dave, number 6.
I will go with Jack Black and Kyle Gass.
Oh, boy.
Tenacious D time. You motherfucker, go.
Man. We are the D, we are the D, we are the D. Love that shit.
Yeah.
And number
we
7.
just watched Pick of Destiny the other day.
That movie gets better every time I watch
yeah,
it.
maybe that's what it is, because I'd forgotten how good it was.
When I first saw, I remember seeing it for the first time because Captain Gunner, John Turley, and I skipped out of work in the afternoon to go see it.
Nice.
And I remember, to be completely honest, being like, coming out of the theater and being like, man, I don't know if I like that. But every time I watch it after, I like it more and more. It's one of those movies for me. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a funny movie.
Yeah.
I just don't know what exactly I was expecting when I went into it.
The first time I saw it was several years ago as well. And Tanya watched it with me, but she had no memory of watching it. And the other day I had come in for lunch from work, and I heard her in there laughing. And apparently, as is the case usually, Gage recommended she watch it. And so that was suddenly a good idea. If I recommend it, she's like, well, if Gage says something to her, she's like, oh, really? Okay. And now it's her favorite thing. Anyway, she was watching it, and she was laughing at it. I was like, oh, fuck, this movie's great. And she's like, I've never seen this. I don't know how. I'm like, bullshit, you've never seen it. Man. She's like, well, I must have tuned it out. Dude, I've forgotten how many fucking Amy Poehler is in that movie.
Who does she play? I can't remember.
She's the waitress at the diner.
Oh, God, yeah, okay.
And she's young. Yeah. I mean, you can tell it's like early in her career. But like we get to the end, and when they're doing the duel with the devil.
Yeah.
And Tanya was like laughing at it, and I'm like, I'm watching her more than I'm watching the movie. And I'm like, you know who that is? Yeah. And she's like, no.
Oh.
I was like, you don't know who that is? She's like, no. The devil? No, I don't know. Who is it? It's like, it's Dave Grohl.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Cage, you're coming with me.
She go full Kermit.
Oh my God, she did. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God, because she's a huge Foo Fighters fan, and she loves Dave Grohl. So it was really fun to see her reaction to that. And
he's not.
Tim Robbins is in it.
To recognize him.
No, it's not.
Especially compared to like the original HBO show, where it's like much easier to recognize him there.
Except that when he plays the drums, I can tell it's him playing the drums.
Yeah,
he's just got a style that I recognize. But yeah, it was really great to see her reaction.
You talking about Tanya forgetting that she had seen it with you. I always forget that Nikki and I have watched My Cousin Vinny, because I love My Cousin Vinny.
Love that movie.
And I saw it so much as a child with my family, that anytime I see it, like this just happened fucking this week. We're scrolling through a streaming service, and I'm like, oh, My Cousin Vinny, have you seen that? And she laughs at me because she's like, yes, we've seen it together. You ask me this every time you see.
So you forgot that she had seen it.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting.
You keep forgetting it. Nice.
I think that just means we need to rewatch it.
Agreed. Everyone should watch My Cousin Vinny on the reg.
Fucking movie.
It is. That scene with her on the stand doing the stuff about the cars is one of the hottest things ever.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
like she won
Best Actress for that. Yeah.
Probably.
Great shit. Aunt May.
There's still the whole thing if they read the wrong name by accident when she won.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing.
I've heard that's a whole... People think by the reaction that the guy had... I've seen that's the rumor is that they read the wrong name.
But you know that...
But she deserved it anyway, so I'm good with it.
But like what happened recently? Who fucked it up recently within like... I say recently, but they're like, oh no, I'm sorry.
It was Emma Stone like La La Land or something. Yeah.
So I feel like I feel like if they make a mistake... I don't know. Maybe it depends on the host.
Yeah. To realize, oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Oops. Or just like, rip.
That's why they keep that shit locked in a briefcase with a fucking pair of handcuffs on it. So they...
Deal or no deal.
Yeah, exactly. Good pick on the Tenacious D. That got us off on a really nice topic.
So Ian, number 7.
My turn, number 7. I'm going to pick Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Okay.
I love their dynamic. And I love Jeremy Renner, and I love Scarlett Johansson, so it works out for me.
My number 7, I'll grab Joey and Chandler.
Good pick.
Stay true to my roots. Dave, number 7.
Damn, we're already at 7. Mm-hmm. Damn, and I'm keep adding stuff to my list. Shit. I'll go with Mario and Luigi.
Very good one. Ian, number 8.
Mario. Luigi Mario.
Key and Peele.
Nice.
Damn. I didn't even think about that shit.
They put the pussy on the chain wax.
My favorite Key and Peele is the guy that gets like super excited about everything and he like sits down for a continental breakfast at the hotel.
I visit all the countries.
God, that makes me
Bananas from.
That makes me fucking die laughing every
Don't
time.
you love a continental breakfast?
I never get tired of that. Ever.
Gremlins 2 is my favorite. Fucking love
Gremlins 2 is fucking genius.
Oh, you talking about a girl gremlin?
Lips, boobies, everything, the whole 9 yards.
She's in the movie.
It was the one where they like kept getting more elaborate hats.
Oh yeah,
like one still in the box or so, I don't know. It's
or them trying to out-black each other in the restaurant when they're ordering food.
Oh, and they're talking about their wife and they're like, and I said, bitch, real quiet or whispers, and then they like got to go farther away just to make sure their wives don't hear.
But you said that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You actually called her a bitch. You know I did.
Oh, hey, baby.
Oh, hey, baby.
In the basement.
Number 8. Troy and Abed in the morning.
Hey, that's good.
Very good.
Dave, number 8.
We're on 8. I'll go with Jake the Boy and Oi the Billy Bumbler.
I was saving them for 10. Ian, number 9.
Sorry, I lost my. Sorry, good podcasting. Andy Dwyer and April Ludgate.
Yeah,
nice.
Fuck.
From Parks and Rec. Fresh on my mind.
Really good. So then I'll grab Jim and Dwight.
Okay.
Ooh, good one.
I prefer them to Jim and Pam.
You like Roy? You're a Roy and Pam guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll piggyback off of Jake the Boy and Oi the Bumbler with Jake the Dog and Finn the Human.
Ooh, nice.
All right, Ian, number 10.
Coyote and Roadrunner.
Okay. Yes.
I think I've mentioned this before, but my parents, when I was a kid, I wasn't as into Coyote and Roadrunner because it's a little bit more cerebral in the sense there's no dialogue, you know. Mm-hmm. And my parents would laugh and laugh and laugh at those cartoons, and I never understood why. And then at some point, it kind of hit me why it was funny. The ironic, or painting the thing on the side of the tunnel on the side of the mountain, or just the overall like multiple failures of Coyote, no matter how elaborate things always got. They used to laugh and laugh, and then I finally got the joke, and that became like my favorite part of Looney Tunes. So good duo.
My last one will be Naruto and Sasuke.
There you go.
Dave, round it out.
You guys want to do 15 or?
I'm good at 10.
Okay,
I'm good at 10.
Okay, we're good.
You can honorable mention all day long if
I
you'd
will
like.
have a lot. My 10, I can't not put Calvin and Hobbes on this list. So Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah. 100%. What somebody I was watching a TikTok he published the last one in like 96, something like that, and he's just been retired. And he just put out some sort of an art book.
Yeah, he paints.
Yeah.
Yeah, he paints. He lives in somewhere in Ohio, I believe. Yep, he paints.
So that's awesome.
I think it's Chagrin Falls. I think is where he lives. Yeah, man, it's great. I really respect that. I think it's awesome.
And preserve your medium the way you want it.
Yeah.
Don't sell out, and then just retire when you're. I don't know. He had to be in his 30s, probably.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know how old he was because it really wasn't an old strip. I mean, it probably had like a 12-year run, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, all the money he made from Calvin peeing on things. I mean, Set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all fully licensed and paid for.
Yeah.
No, just the ones where Calvin's smoking a blunt.
That's all he asked for. If it's Calvin smoking a blunt, I want to get paid for that. Otherwise, you can use it to your heart's content.
Was it Pete Davidson talking about having his tattoos removed and just having them read out loud to him?
Yep.
So, sir, we're going to be losing the Stewie Griffin smoking a blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can go.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions.
I got a few.
Yeah.
Billy and Jimmy Lee from Double Dragon.
Who?
Bimmy.
Oh, okay.
Chocolate and peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Yin and Yang. Shoots and Ladders. Toe Jam and Earl. R2D2 and C3PO.
C3PO, yeah.
The Incredibly Gay Duo.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Ace and Gary.
Ace and Gary.
Yep. Conan and Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all.
Bart and Milhouse.
Oh, it's good. That hurts that I didn't come up with that, actually. That's great.
I had Wade and Garth.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Doc
Party
and-
on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
Doc and Marty.
Yeah.
Statler and Waldorf.
Damn,
Rick and Morty, you say?
Yeah, that was also Bert and Ernie,
Yeah.
Goodness.
Penn and Teller, Ren and Stimpy,
Yeah.
Jon Snow and Ghost, Harry Dresden and Bob the Skull.
You had to use the back part of your paper.
Mm-hmm.
The back part and front part of paper.
Front and back.
Both sides of the coin.
Just front and back.
Saban and Edgar.
That was I thought about that, and then Magus and Scala.
Cecil and Cecil.
Param
Parham and Parham.
and Porum's really good.
Dunder and Mifflin.
Yep.
There's the Lucy and Ricky. I thought about that too.
Hey. Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore.
I thought about Patty Duke and Patty Duke.
No, that's good. That's good. Damn. That was a good draft.
Mm-hmm.
Identical cousins.
Bugs and Daffy.
Yeah, Bugs and Daffy.
Buster and Babs.
No relation.
So you can go on, Tango and Cash.
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yeah.
Which
Dorothy and Sophia.
I considered Riggs and Murtaugh for my list.
Yeah, it's odd that none of us chose the characters that are in the movie and game that we're about
This is
to
the only
learn
one I've
about.
ever seen, so I'm not that attached to them yet.
I'm super attached to Riggs and Murtaugh. I've always loved them as a duo, but I liked my picks harder than this one. So
Yeah.
And besides, we're going to spend an hour talking about Riggs and Murtaugh
Yeah.
coming up, so I figured I'd leave it out.
Take a break, then roll into movie and game talk.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
He's a criminal's worst nightmare. A cop who enjoys the danger.
No guns, no jujitsu, just bring him down.
Do you really want to jump? Well, then that's fine with me. Come on.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait a minute. What the?
He was ready to retire. Now, he's gonna wish he had.
Gun! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Raj, meet your new partner.
New partner. Too old for this.
If these guys can just stand each other,
What you got in there? Boy and Smith? A lot of old timers carry those.
the bad guys don't stand a chance.
Don't kill anybody. Don't tell anybody. I'm too old for this.
Are you as good as you say you are?
Nobody can touch me.
Suppose we better register you as a lethal weapon. You ever met anybody you didn't kill?
Well, I haven't killed you yet.
And now for the game talk and movie talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen this movie.
Same. I thought I had seen it before. I had not.
What'd you think?
Me? We're going to start with me?
Sure. Yeah. You know Ian loves
We're going
it.
to start with me.
Would you like me to read my
please
list first and then we can just run with it?
Yes. That sounds great.
I'm trying to help you out
You
here.
are helping.
Okay. You look a little on the spot. All right. Occasionally I will do a list. I like to call it Wiz and Sage's TADPOG totals for movies that warrant such a list. And I did one for 1987's Lethal Weapon, directed by Richard Donner.
So you said you whispered 1987. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm curious why. Because I also, when I saw it,
The game was in 92, so I would have figured it was a 90s
that
movie.
it was later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why Joe Pesci's on the game box. Because I think...
Mel Gibson's hair is very 87, though.
Yeah,
so.
it is.
Yeah.
It's even more 87 in the first movie. It's big hair.
Yeah.
A lot of Aquanet went into that cloth. I ain't kidding.
Okay, sorry, Ian.
No worries. Wiz and Sage's TADPOG totals for Lethal Weapon. Starting with the best part, not the best part, one of the best parts. 6 breasts. 1 naked Mel Gibson ass featuring ballsack glimpse.
Oh, man.
3 background family feuds starring Richard Dawson. 1 flying hooker. 1 crazy Mel Gibson character who is somehow less crazy than Passion of the Christ era anti-Semitic Mel Gibson. Several references to Murtaugh's wife's bad cooking. 1 non-flammable Gary Busey. Copious saxophone music. 1 Three Stooges impersonating Mel Gibson because he's crazy, you see. It's because he's crazy. 1 movie theater marquee advertising The Lost Boys.
Yes, I
which
noticed it as
Richard Donner also directed. Several mental health awareness red flags. 1 dinner time beatboxing session.
Yeah.
3 street smart kids that know what's up when it comes to talking to the cops. 1 GoBots reference. 1 car full of heroin explosion. 1 mano a mano shot at the title fight. 1, last but not least, 1 police sedan forcibly used as living room furniture. Wiz and Sage's awards go to Jackie Swanson for playing Amanda Hunsaker, the half-naked prostitute who has a grand total of 2 minutes living screen time, but somehow manages to be the launching point for the plot of the entire movie. She also apparently had a brief cameo in Cheers at one point. Next award goes to Danny Glover as Murtaugh for saying things like, "Go spit," and "You ever met anyone you didn't kill?" And finally, the last award goes to Mel Gibson as Riggs for grumbling like Popeye while kicking the shit out of Gary Busey's character Joshua at the end of the movie. And that, my friends, is Wiz and Sage's TADPOG totals for Lethal Weapon.
I love it. So where were the 6 breasts? Did I
So
miss
there was
some
2
breasts?
in the beginning.
Right. Those are right out the gate.
First thing you
'Cause
see.
Henry was watching with us.
Even
and,
a little.
And I was like, maybe this isn't.
even a little peek through the shorts as she's standing on the balcony. Get a little of that too, which is rare.
That is rare.
The other 4 come in the video that is sent
you're right.
to Danny
The
Glover's.
porno video tape?
Yes, of them taking a shower.
I love that scene, man, where like her dad is like, there's the videotapes. And I'm thinking, oh, he means the porno videotapes. The porno videotapes. It's like, we know. we know.
understood that reference. You don't need to worry. Give your audience a little credit. But that was where the 6 breasts came from.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot about the 4 other breasts.
The background family feud. It was like,
I missed that too.
So in the beginning, Mel Gibson's in his trailer.
Right. Oh,
Family Feud is playing.
Yeah.
The same episode of Family Feud is playing in the Murtaugh household while he's getting ready to go to work. And then in a later scene,
That's a good time connection.
Yeah. And in a later scene in a completely different part of the movie, It's on again at the Murtaugh house, just in the background. But I couldn't help but notice that. Ding.
The world has moved on.
Yeah,
time.
Yeah,
is a face on the water.
Funny.
It slips. Family Feud runs backwards.
So, Lethal Weapon set a lot of standards for buddy cop movies, I think. And
yes, for sure.
That survive to this day in one form or fashion. And we learned that Mel Gibson is a former Special Forces. He was so there was a TV show of Lethal Weapon. They turned it into a TV show.
I saw that when I went to visit Mr. Bay. It was hard to navigate.
Yeah, not long ago. It was like probably 5 years ago, maybe 3. Damon Wayans played the part of Murtaugh. It was a show. It was on Fox, and it only ran for 2 seasons. And it's a shame because it was actually a really, really good show, but apparently there was some problems between I can't remember the guy who played Riggs.
Damon Wayans kept wanting to bring Blank Man into the storyline.
It just wasn't working. But there was dissonance between those two, and they couldn't get along, and they ended up canceling the show. Which again, big shame because I thought it did the movie franchise justice. Lethal Weapon spawned 3 sequels.
Well, and more if you include the Always Sunny.
The franchise made its mark. I mean,
for sure.
And it gave Mel Gibson that final push into superstardom.
Yeah.
Which is that was in the back of my head watching it the whole time.
Sure, it's hard to not watch it.
Because Riggs is a great character. Riggs and Murtaugh are great characters.
They really are.
Watching this, knowing what a piece of shit Mel Gibson is.
It's tough. It really is. It was tough for me because when I started watching the movie and I realized, oh no, I thought I had seen this and I have not, so I have no real connection to the movie. It was tough. I didn't dislike the movie. This is why earlier I was like, "Oh, you sure you want to start with me?" Because I don't want to shit on this movie. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was a horrible movie. I also didn't love it. I thought it was.
I will. You got room in that boat. Here, let me go in that boat with.
There are some parts of the
no
movie.
more room in this boat, Ian. It's just me and Dave.
That's okay. I've got my own boat.
There's some parts of this movie.
I love this movie boat.
I know, and it's part of the reason that I mean,
Now, keeping in mind that I watched Lethal Weapon before Mel Gibson
in '87, probably
it's easier to appreciate, but also because Mel Gibson, not only the anti-Semitism and all that other shit, like he has a hand in the snake oil market in the U.S.
I didn't know this.
He was in a pivotal commercial,
allegedly,
where I've seen the commercial.
Okay,
to where he. They were trying to pass laws regulating vitamins and the sale of bullshit, and he was the face of the anti-regulation movement to get like vitamins and all this bullshit under regulation, so like people can't get fleeced. So he had a commercial where like Lethal Weapon, they all storm his house, try to arrest him, and he just pulls up like, "There's vitamins, man." So like all the legislation crashes and burns, and that's why we have the extends.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Airborne market as we know it today, to where people can just say whatever on a bottle of pills.
Well, I've come to the realization that I have to separate that kind of stuff from things that I like.
Sure.
Because it's like with Kevin Spacey. Obviously, Kevin Spacey is a piece of shit. And all this really horrible shit came out about him. But I still like a lot of his movies that, Good Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, Seven, things that he's been in before all that came to light. I know it was going on, but I'm not going to not watch that movie.
Yeah.
Because he's in it.
Cosby's one that Melissa's like, oh, fuck.
Well, she
loved the Cosby Show so much.
Yeah.
I'm not going to actively avoid it, but also it is. And I agree that, when you're lending criticism to something that it's, for example, with Lethal Weapon, I try to separate myself.
Sure.
I try not to think about
bias is a hard thing to get
rid
rid
it's
of.
super hard.
Yep.
It's like a thing that so egregious that it's really like the Cosby. Like I can't watch the Cosby Show.
That one I can't do.
Think about
the barbecue sauce episode of the Cosby Show.
It's impossible. Like I can't watch that show anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I don't get enjoyment out of it.
I'm with you on that because that's one that I've had to just give up.
Yeah.
I definitely won't eat a pudding pop. I'm fucking done. I'm done with pudding pops forever.
Kanye West is another one. It's like really rough for me because I really liked Kanye's music.
Jacob held on to that for a long time before it was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, and then he just got, and then you've got Diddy and you've got all the, he just got raided by the feds. And it's just like,
I've seen some of those videos about him like talking to little kids and shit, and like, it's just like, okay, well, it's sad it took this long.
It is, and it sucks that it happens.
The oracle that is Cat Williams.
It sucks, right? that we have all this that we have to like factor in now. So putting all the Mel Gibson stuff aside, because I was a huge fan of The Road Warrior. I was a huge fan of Mad Max.
Yeah, dude, totally.
I mean, that's those movies live in me.
Passion of the Christ. Big
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What did somebody say about that? Joker is the Passion of the Christ for juggalos. I think that is so good.
That's actually correct. Wow.
Mel Gibson gets tortured in a lot of movies.
He does.
He gets tortured in this movie.
I like
when he was getting shocked by the sponges, I was like, this is kind of like Passion of the Christ, right, Nikki? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I liked Maverick. He was
Maverick.
Richard Donner also directed.
What Women Want, where he can read their minds or whatever.
Yeah, I hated that one.
Maverick was good, though.
Maverick was
they got
good.
The tubs next to each other. It was nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. With the cigars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster.
Yep.
Looking cute as a button.
Speaking of What Women Want.
Yeah.
Looking straight as all hell.
Damn. Good one, Dave.
Thank you.
But Lethal Weapon was kind of a pivotal moment for buddy cop movies in my mind. I feel like it's the first true buddy cop movie I ever watched and really liked and kind of got into that genre.
I wanted to know what started that trope.
And I think it was this one. And Lethal Weapon 2 actually is more tropey from a buddy cop movie standpoint than any of them. Yeah. But this one I think is what kind of got people, I think it brought it into the mainstream. And
you sure it wasn't 1949's Akira Kurosawa film where he does like the buddy cop? I didn't know that was a thing until I looked it up. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yes, Tyler, I am sure.
Yeah, come on.
I actually knew you were going to ask me that question, and I came prepared. I've done my homework. This movie was a $15 million budget and grossed $120 million.
It was huge. I remember I was 6 when this came out, but I knew about Lethal Weapon. And
did Vince McMahon do the choreography? Because
maybe
there are moments. There are moments where I was like, "Oh, this looks like a wrestler who missed a bump, and they're trying to fix it."
Wrestling was pretty big back then. I'm just saying. Eric Clapton did the music.
I thought that was odd when I saw that. It's interesting.
Giving me one definite reason of not liking it. Hate Eric Clapton with an unholy passion that I'm not going to get into.
But you like his anti-vaccination song, right?
Yes, that is the one thing of Eric Clapton's that I like.
And publicly racist comments.
Fucking overrated.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I can send you a link if you really want to read about what he has to say.
Tears in heaven. Fuck you. Weird Danny Glover scene in the bathtub got me. I made notes. He's one of the opening scenes. We got Danny Glover. The movie takes place on the first day of the movie is Danny Glover's 50th birthday, which also reminds me of. Now I understand why I'm always saying I'm too old for this shit. Apparently, when you turn 50, it just comes naturally.
You can stretch.
He's sitting in the tub.
Yeah.
Not in a bubble bath. There's some bubbles, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And his 2 daughters, one of which is like 5. One is a teenager.
Which is less concerning to me than the teenager. When she came in the room and they talked, and like, I looked at Nikki, I was like, is that his girlfriend?
Nope. Nope. It's his teenage daughter, and both his sons and his wife all come into the bathroom with a birthday cake and sing "Happy Birthday to you." Happy birthday! And
you don't know family cake bath? It's my favorite part of every year.
Cake bath. It's cake bath day.
Lay a little bath water on that slice.
Dunk it. So I thought, he's naked in clear water. Apparently, that's not a problem. Yeah. I realize some places, some families, they don't have that sort of, filter. It's just, we're all family. It doesn't matter if we're naked. But maybe don't put that on the big screen because I feel like that's going to creep some people out.
Yeah.
Maybe even me. I don't know.
It was a weird scene.
Richard Donner.
I thought it was weird.
Richard Donner's thing. That's what his family did.
Now, if you give me just a minute and sit right there, I'd like to go through a list of Richard Donner movies.
Okay.
And this also may explain one of the reasons, besides the fact that I just love the movie, why I'm into Lethal Weapon. Richard Donner apparently has my fucking number because I went through his list and I had forgotten how many movies he had done that I have seen several times in my life.
He did The Goonies, right?
He did Lethal Weapon, The Goonies, Superman the movie.
Right.
Superman 2, The Omen from 1976, The Omen. I mean, that's a classic horror film. Didn't know he did that. He did Goonies 2, which was whatever.
NES game.
All the Lethal Weapon movies. He did Conspiracy Theory starring Mel Gibson and my other favorite person, Julia Roberts. Maverick, he directed that. He directed Scrooged.
Wow.
Assassins with Sylvester Stallone and Antonio Banderas.
I haven't seen that.
Timeline starring Paul Walker, which is in Gerard. Fuck. I'm not going to look at his name because I don't have a lot of
Gerard Depardieu.
It's not Gerard Depardieu. Gerard Butler? Maybe it's Butler. It's based on a Michael Crichton novel. It's a great movie. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie and a good book. Radio Flyer, The Toy starring Richard Pryor, The Lost Boys.
Right.
Free Willy. He directed Free Willy.
He directed Free Willy.
Let's see. There's a couple of more. Let me go through this. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, which is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Love that movie. X-Men from 2000, year 2000.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. X-Men Origins Wolverine, Any Given Sunday.
Womp womp.
Yeah, really.
Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
Oh, okay. Corey Feldman joint.
Yes. John Candy's Delirious.
Okay.
As not to be confused with Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Right.
And,
or John Candy's Raw.
Or John Candy's Raw. Exactly. And that pretty much covers the major ones that I wanted to mention.
Okay.
And I just was like, I never really gave it much thought as to, how many fucking pivotal movies for me. God, Superman and Superman 2 were my fucking jam when I was a kid. I watched those movies on fucking repeat if I could because I just loved them. And I think it's his style, the way he frames things, the type of film he uses, the sound he uses. I think those all could be really correlated to one another.
Who played Superman again?
Christopher Reeve.
Sir Reeves. I saw a TikTok interview of him where he is just like talking about how much he hates Marlon Brando and working with Marlon Brando, how terrible he is.
Yeah, and he was Jor-El, and it's like he had all of like 5 minutes on screen with Jor-El throughout the entire franchise, and still hated working with Marlon Brando.
Letterman is like, he was awful.
Christopher Reeve, may he rest in peace. One of the greats. You are missed dearly. Richard Donner, and I think besides for me it being a great movie, I just love his style, and so that's why it resonated with me so much.
I thought it was a pretty. I thought it was a pretty funny movie, and I think it's because I was kind of expecting the plot. The plot didn't make a lot of sense, and like and by that I mean that I feel like the policeman in the movie jumped to a lot of conclusions, and it worked out okay. But
like it normally does.
but it's an action movie, so I get that.
Mommy told me police shoot black people.
Right?
It's like, damn, this is 1987.
No shit, right?
LA has sucked for a long time.
I thought that was a great part in the movie that where he's questioning the child who like witnessed the bad guy posing as the gas meter maid.
Yeah.
I thought there are a lot of scenes in this movie that I feel like are great.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is one of them. Another scene in this movie this is my favorite scene in the movie, and you touched on it when you're talking about the beatboxing. My favorite scene in the movie is when Riggs is having dinner.
Oh yeah,
with Murtaugh and his family.
Absolutely.
And Rianne
she's staring at Mel Gibson at Riggs.
Loves him.
Just absolutely staring him down. Like her hand rested on her face. Dreamy.
I love that scene because like there's so much unspoken in that scene that is happening between the characters.
Yes.
And because the younger siblings are laughing about it and joking about it.
And they start
rapping about it.
Yes. Oh God, it's adorable.
I love it.
Fucking adorable.
I love it. Anything at their house.
Yeah. Their family life.
Family stuff I think is really, really good. Because I like when Riggs and Murtaugh are like on his boat in the driveway.
Just drinking
beer and shooting the shit. I really like those scenes.
And it's got a really good, I think the plot is really good. I liked the story that they were...
The premise
of the movie and the investigation and the mystery and all of those things that really call back to like those old Dirty Harry movies and stuff where we've got a single mystery to solve and we're gonna leverage all of our talents and skills to do so.
I mentioned Dirty Harry when we were watching it because there's a scene where like when Riggs and Murtaugh first get partnered up, the first thing they do is go deal with a jumper.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at Nicky, I was like, that's like Dirty Harry. That's like the first thing they went on.
Funny thing in that scene, Riggs is crazy. He's crazy, everyone.
Right,
in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
He's an ex-Navy SEAL or an ex-Special Forces sniper. And he is struggling with not wanting to live.
Suicide,
the death of his wife.
Because his wife passed away and he loved her so. Could not make it. Day to day, it was a struggle for him to stay alive.
In his trailer, that's a fucking intense scene. Mel Gibson did a good job.
He really did. And it was very
That's
believable.
What makes Riggs a good character.
Yeah, it really does. And Tyler, as you said, the characters in this movie are driven by things that they're so well written and so well acted.
And it's not like they're just like opposites to see how they clash. Like they were opposites in a complementary color sort of way.
Right. Exactly. And so being a cop is the one thing that Riggs is staying alive for. He loves being a cop. And one of the things, when they go to the jumper, he goes up there and stands on the ledge of the building with the jumper.
Which the jumper, I was like, that's Eddie Dean.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Absolutely. Well, at one point he handcuffs himself to the jumper and he's like, all right, you're going to have to come with me. And the guy's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, you want to jump? You want to die? Let's do it. And they jump off he forces him to jump off the roof. There's a big airbag below him at that point, which again is sort of the thing I mentioned about mental health and red flags.
Right.
And,
sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of we hadn't quite gotten to the point in dealing with mental health issues and seeing that in people yet. By the time this movie.
But definitely not in 87.
There's just a little glitch in that scene when they jump. They're actually not. You can see that clearly that they're not handcuffed together.
Right. And because that would be irresponsible.
But I feel like it was one of those deals they didn't want to shoot.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Because even jumping into an airbag is a danger from 15 floors up. That's a dangerous thing. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that little.
What I found
snafu.
oddly comforting in the movie was a young, sane, non-butt horn screaming Gary.
Didn't you
Busey.
just kind of want to?
It was like
Hang out with. He
wow.
was very
He was-
clear and very.
Yeah.
His speech was very precise,
attractive, and like he did a good job as the villain.
Yeah,
and
it didn't.
was like, wow, I can see why Gary Famous was famous in the 80s.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in the movie though where it's like, man, I like the end where they fight, they fist fight is just like, oh my god, you couldn't. It's fine that they're fist fighting, but like you couldn't write it in a way.
Oh, the mano a mano shot at the title fight.
Don't have the cops show up. Just have it where it's just
if the cops aren't
Murtaugh's
there,
the only one there.
It's different.
Yep.
It's different if the police force isn't there.
Yeah,
because there's like
and Murtaugh's like, no, I take responsibility.
Right?
What? No, what?
No, we're all gonna get in trouble, dude.
Yeah.
If he kills him, if he kills him, and we did nothing to stop the fight, we are all fucked.
Yeah.
What made me laugh out loud when I mentioned the Vince McMahon thing was where Riggs is getting tortured in the water with the electric, and how he finally gets out of it, and he hits the torturer and then gets
Who's
his
Genghis Khan in
Yes.
Bill and Ted.
Yes, he is. Absolutely.
Who's forgotten more about
you beat me
torture.
to it by like 3. No, it's fine.
He's forgot more about causing pain than we'll ever learn.
Right. Absolutely.
So then the way he hits him, and then like you see the actor like stands there and does like the he's seeing stars moment. So Mel Gibson can crouch up and wrap his legs around him in the most awkward ass way and sort of like set up the fall. Like it was like the WWF.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
And I feel like even someone as well trained and as strong as Riggs isn't going to break anyone's neck with just his ankles.
Oh, yeah, because he's snapping necks like it's a fucking SNL skit, like a karate skit.
But at the same time, I love that scene. I love when he bursts into the room and throws the guy's body down and then just kills everyone.
Right.
With the guy holding the gun, and then...
Yeah.
And I did also laugh whenever they're running outside in the rain and they make it to the sidewalk, and you see where Mel Gibson, he's running hard out. Then when he gets to the wet sidewalk, he stops and twinkle toes to the cab. He's like, "Oh, God, take care of your health." This wet sidewalk, and then, oh man, my gun!
Slippery surface. There's a standoff in the desert that I really liked.
I like that too.
Well shot scene.
Man, get in the car.
Get in the goddamn car. And she jumps in the limo and drives like crazy because his daughter had been taken hostage. And then meanwhile, they think Riggs is dead. And he's out in the bushes with a sniper rifle. And then the heavy gets a drop on him.
Greg's dad gets him. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all.
I can't see that guy as anything else ever.
Greg's dad?
Dharma and
Greg.
Greg. He's
Yeah,
Greg's
he plays
dad.
Greg's dad. You're right. Absolutely.
John Turley's favorite show, Dharma and Greg.
Admittedly.
Yeah.
Another fun fact: Danny Glover was actually only 40 when he played this role, not 50.
Because he's ripped.
Yeah, dude is strong. You don't see
Like
it a
Ernie
lot.
Hudson in his 70s ripped.
Yeah, yeah, for real. There's a reference
That's why
in
the water was clear.
Get these bubbles out of here. I didn't work for you not to see all this.
All right, Mr. Stallone.
There's a reference to Air America, which is the CIA. It was the CIA. It was Air America was like a CIA front that they used in Vietnam to drop like supplies to the people that live in Vietnam, like relief. But it was really a CIA spy operation. But there's also a movie called Air America starring Mel Gibson and Robert Downey Jr. About that. So I thought that was an interesting reference. And then by the last thing I've got in my notes, by the Die Hard rule, this should be counted as a Christmas movie.
It's funny you bring that up.
Especially since it takes place in L.A. at Christmas time.
Which makes me question
why
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking the same thing. I was watching the movie. I was like, is this a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I mean, it is.
Man, maybe Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie.
That's the closest thing to like a Ashley Shake and utter disbelief face I've ever seen you make.
I mean, ho ho ho! I have a machine gun. I feel like that like kind of pushes Die Hard. Like that's
Merry
what
Christmas,
makes it a
bad
Christmas
guys.
movie.
Only good guys are here.
But at one point in Lethal Weapon, Gary Busey breaks into Murtaugh's house. You know what time of year it is on the TV.
Right.
And Gary Busey shoots the TV and he says, "It's Christmas."
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it could be. If we're following that rule,
totally.
we have to admit
Why'd they have to crash the car into the house?
it was a distraction. It was just to throw
They get
Gary
reimbursed for
Busey off
that?
his game. Yeah, probably. You know how it goes.
I mean, if all the cops are watching the fights.
I mean, he ran that cop car into my living room. He's dead, so he can't refute that. But I promise he was the one that ran the cop car into my living room.
Nothing on the book says you can't have a fist fight if someone runs a car through your house.
Are we in Texas or are we in California?
But again, all in all, I love the movie. It gets right to the point, gets right to the action. It does a really good job of not wasting a lot of time with character development because it's apparent. They do a good job of being concise about character development and then get on with the fucking plot.
Yeah.
And so many movies don't do that.
Yeah,
so.
I think they do a good job of developing the main characters through the action.
Like context clues and
Yeah,
action. And then they give the audience a lot of credit
Yeah.
in that regard.
I think that's nice. I do think there are some things where it's like the porno videotapes scene where it's like, man, we didn't really even need the scene.
We need 4 more breasts.
Right.
We need 4
Yeah,
more
maybe that
breasts
was
in
it.
this movie. We have a fucking quota and we haven't met it yet.
Well, in Murtaugh watching them, like that doesn't bother me. That I was kind of like, I felt like that was a good scene because that was like, that shows you what kind of person he is, and he's disturbed by what he's watching, and knowing that it's this man's daughter. The scene that I thought was like, I don't know, man, like the woman who dies in the beginning,
Right.
her father knows Murtaugh from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he's like telling Murtaugh to kill this man.
Yeah.
I thought the guy who played her dad, I didn't think that was, I didn't buy it. I really didn't. And I was like, man, I wish they would have gotten a better performance out of this actor for this scene, because I'm just like, okay, I'm ready for the scene to be over.
I left something off of my TADPOG totals. Bullet through eggnog food.
Oh yeah, I know.
The guy's standing in front of the window with a carton of eggnog and a helicopter with Gary Busey with Joshua in it. He shoots through his back, his chest, and the eggnog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eggnog kata.
I like that part.
I do too.
It's a funny little part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, didn't love it, didn't hate it. It's kind of in the middle for me, but there are some things that I will never forget.
So, you know the way that like the Road Warrior, well, we got Mad Max and then the Road Warrior and then Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, followed by Fury Road and the upcoming Furiosa movie, which is out in theaters like this month, which looks fucking amazing. Anyway, so you remember...
I feel like Chris Hemsworth looks out of place. He's the first actor I've felt like looks out of place in that movie.
He's supposed to. There's a reason.
Okay.
And I know why. I just know these movies really well. I know why.
Same thing, Tyler.
He does look weird, but they put a prosthetic nose on him, and because of the character he plays, there's an explanation that I'm not gonna digress that much. But the reason I bring it up, so the Road Warrior or the Mad Max is the first movie,
right?
And you can tell this movie was done in like 1977 or 78. It was a really old movie, but you could tell it was done on a shoestring budget.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Then the Road Warrior came out, and because Mad Max was such a huge hit, The Road Warrior took it to the next fucking level.
So does Lethal Weapon have the Mad Max effect?
Lethal Weapon has the Mad Max effect. You can tell when you watch Lethal Weapon 2 how much money Lethal Weapon 1 made because it's a much bigger production.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference. They add the third character of Joe Pesci. Rene Russo starts being in it. You can tell that it jumps way ahead budgetarily speaking, and
sure.
A lot of people will argue that, much like the Road Warrior does, that Lethal Weapon 2 is the better movie.
What's your favorite Lethal Weapon movie?
Lethal Weapon 1.
1.
It's 1. I like them all, and it's been a while since I've seen 2, 3, and 4. Even like I've seen 2 more than I've seen 3 and 4.
Which one has the bomb in the toilet?
2.
That's the one I've seen.
Yeah, that's the one everyone has seen because I think it was one of those. Somehow people, everyone that everyone that has said they've seen a Lethal Weapon movie, most of them have seen Lethal Weapon 2. Kind of like
I
the
saw
Road
that on
Warrior,
cable.
right? It was the more popular one, I think, the more recognizable one, and that's the way it is. But I think. I would always recommend you should watch Lethal Weapon 2 at some point while Lethal Weapon 1 is fresh on your mind so you can make those comparisons.
Sure.
Because I do think but for me, I like Terminator better than Terminator 2. You know?
I do too, but that's a genre thing for
It
me.
is definitely a genre. It's more horror versus sci-fi.
Right, yeah.
But in the same way, that movie was somewhat lower budget compared to its sequel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it was such a huge hit, the sequel they got a lot more money for the sequel. I think Lethal Weapon 2 is good to watch fresh while Lethal Weapon's on your mind because a lot of people would argue it's the better one.
Okay.
You want to talk about the game? The very complimentary game?
Yeah, by Ocean.
Super Nintendo.
Which is always a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
The game came out in
92.
That's an early Super Nintendo game.
It is.
I feel like I need to keep that in mind.
Which playing this made me think, is there a platformer that is very as horizontal as it is vertical, where you travel all around, that I enjoy?
Oh, that you enjoy. Because I was about to say Home Improvement.
Oh, there are so many games like that. Is there one that I really like to play? And I do not think there is. I've really tried to, maybe Sonic the Hedgehog, maybe, but that's still driven going from left to right. You don't have to jump and pivot and go
and you don't love
go
Sonic
around.
the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you're right. I don't love Sonic. I like Sonic Adventure more than I like Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay. You're right there. But yeah, I can't really think of anything that's I like this style of gameplay. Really don't think I do. I think it always feels weird.
I agree. Fun. I agree. And I'm not a big fan either. I'm terrible at games like this. I think, spoilers, I didn't like this game.
It sucks. I think the game sucks.
But I do think there would have been a market for this game because as cinematic platformers go, first of all, graphically, obviously, it looked like an NES game.
Man,
it was
the NES game looks better.
And this
it's a beat 'em up.
Okay.
The NES one,
which I think is, I didn't know that. I think that's a better way to go for sure. Especially considering I don't feel like the NES got too many beat 'em ups.
No, they really didn't. You're right.
But I thought the graphics in the Super Nintendo game looked, downright cartoonish.
Yeah, they weren't great.
It looked like Ocean's other jam, The Addams Family.
Yeah, you're right.
Only shittier.
Right.
Yeah.
Not as much polish as Gomez, jumping out with his fencing foil and shit.
Right.
And
yeah.
It's kind of a shame because
balls.
While this is not my genre, and I can acknowledge that there were several things about this game that just drove me crazy, that contributed to my disliking of it.
Sure.
I could see there being a market for this for someone. If you're into super difficult fucking games that are crazy hard in some places, I could absolutely see that being appealing to some people.
I don't feel like it was, I don't know, like
even.
just shitty design in that.
Because I think it was hard. I don't know. I like hard games, and not everyone's like me. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this is a shit game.
No, everyone is like you. Sorry, I hate to break it to you, but everyone is like you.
We're in trouble. No wonder the world's in the state it's in. I think that I like hard games that are designed well. This fucking game is not designed well.
Yeah.
And I think the controls are not good. I feel like
controls are garbage.
They raise the roof whenever they jump. Both of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And it's like there are parts of the game where it's like you have to like climb on chains and you have to jump from chain to chain, which is okay. That's a pretty standard platforming mechanic. But the problem is you don't have you can't hold on to the full length of the chain.
Nope.
It's like it just gives way like 2/3 down the chain. And it's like, well, that doesn't feel fucking fair at all. How was I supposed to know that you can't use all of the chain? Why not just make the fucking sprite of the chain match the climb box?
Well, the hook that goes up and down.
Dude,
it looks like you should be able to jump
and hang onto the hook, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Gotta get on top
or
of the
even
hook.
stand on the square, but you got and it just knocks you. I hate games where you have to climb up really high and it's super easy to knock you off.
When you're punished for trying to figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do here. I guess I'll try to jump on the hook and see if Riggs or Murtaugh grabs onto it.
Yep.
Nope, that didn't work.
And you're dead.
Okay. Worse.
Oh, it's a shark.
I fell into the water, got bitten by a shark, and I'm still alive.
Good thing you have a bulletproof vest.
Right. I have to climb this fucking tower all the way back just to try to figure it out again.
And avoid the fishermen with hooks who can step out of.
No, their feet get you.
Yeah. Every fucking time I avoid the hook and their feet get me.
It's so fucking stupid, man. Yeah, because their feet hang over the ledge.
Yep. Beyond the wall.
No touching. No touching.
Right?
No touching.
Is that an achievement?
It should be. It's not. But it should be. Listen, the part where you're running through like the warehouse or whatever, and there's like these chutes that you fall down. There's no input, there's no indication that those are anything close to dangerous.
Right.
You're just running through the level, and then suddenly, beep, you're down at the beginning of the level again. And oh, by the way, we gave you a 5-minute timer.
Dude, the timer is fucking ridiculous.
It's so bad.
Game.
You cannot
gotta find Dolly's clocks laying around.
You cannot beat the game. You cannot beat it unless you find the clocks that give you 1 minute extra time. It's the design
and the
is
clips that look like cigarette
flawed.
cartons.
Oh, yeah, the power-ups. You get extra clips. Because, you don't have unlimited ammo.
Yep.
I thought a nice touch would have been, because in the movie, there's a bonding moment between Riggs and Murtaugh where they're talking about what kind of gun they're carrying.
Yes.
But the guns in the game are the same.
Yeah.
And I think it would be so nice if they were different, because Riggs and Murtaugh in the video game they're the same.
Yeah, they're absolutely
they have the same
They have the
attack,
same
they have the
stats,
kick,
same everything,
the same shoot.
Yeah. They needed to do a little dichotomy there, and it needed to, you're absolutely right. If the guns had been different,
that would have been a nice touch.
It would have been a very nice touch. Like, hey, we actually watched this movie before we made the game.
Yeah.
Thought we'd throw a little Easter egg in there for you. We're not going to do anything else, even remotely like the movie.
Right.
But except for the scenes from the movie that pop up from time to time.
Yeah. They had
Hey Mo!
Yeah, I know. Why choose that? To voice modulate, like out of everything.
When you pick Murtaugh or Riggs as the character, so when you play the game, you start as one or the other, and if you die, you get to try again as the other.
Right.
And but yeah, when you pick each character, it'll say if you pick Murtaugh, he goes, "I'm too old for this." And then Murtaugh says, "Hey Mo," because he didn't say anything else in the whole movie that was quotable except "Hey Mo," because of the Three Stooges thing. I don't know.
Yeah, Bad choice.
Before we get, I'm sure there's plenty more to say, but Brad did send us an email.
Okay.
And I'd like to read it.
All right.
It sort of validates what we've been saying up to this point.
I haven't read it yet. So
Brad writes, hello.
Hello.
His vote, by the way, for the best episode was the one that introduced TADPOG, was the one that introduced Dave Style Chicken.
Dave Style Chicken.
Yeah. All right. Lethal Weapon.
We have a shirt for that. Shirts.tadpog.com.
Lethal Weapon. T's and P's for any kid who asked for Lethal Weapon for his birthday. Mm-hmm. Do you ever wonder who even bought these games?
Yes.
I guess someone did. This game retailed for $59.95 in 1993. That is $129.58 in 2024 money.
God damn it.
Can you imagine?
God, no.
Oh, my God.
So the article about Lethal Weapon, and I think this was Game Pro. He doesn't say. Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't care. Lethal Weapon, reviewed by Scary Larry.
That was definitely Game Pro.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Ocean's come up with a game that looks blah, yet is tougher than a repeat offender. Lethal Weapon fits right into the lineup. The Blue Badge of Courage. Ocean based this one-player action-adventure game on the hit movie the same name. In the game, you pick your favorite, Cop, Riggs, or Murtaugh, and undertake 5 side-scrolling undercover missions. Yeah, undercover, where you just run and shoot at everything. You can begin with any of the missions, which include a dockside drug-dealing operation, a ransom plan, a shopping mall terrorist situation. In LA, this is considered a state of emergency. Why would a terrorist situation not be a state of emergency anywhere? He says in LA, this is considered a state of emergency. Yep. Because it's terrorists in a mall.
Can also bring up in the movie whenever the bad guys want to know if Riggs is alive or not, they just call and ask.
Yeah.
And the cops are like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. All right, let's go.
Pretends he's a reporter.
God.
Yeah. Well, it was the 80s, and it's a lot easier to get information about people, spawning several new stalking laws in the late 90s.
And his other piece of evidence was he shot him in the stomach with a shotgun. So, I mean, I feel
saw it and blew him through a storefront window.
Yeah, that part reminded me of The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
With Callahan. And,
absolutely. The Dixie Pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Ransom plan, shopping mall, terrorist, state of emergency, and an office complex riddled with terrorists. In your final mission, you investigate an ex-sergeant who steals armor-piercing bullets, or sells armor-piercing bullets to L.A. criminals. I think that was the plot of part 2.
I was going to ask you if any of these missions
pretty sure
were
the bullets
in any of the movies.
I think the armor-piercing
knife throwing
bullets.
chef, was that in the second one? Boss of the first level?
Maybe. It's been a minute.
I watched a task run because I couldn't do anything.
Because I think I got to the boss of the second mission. I did not. I gave up on the first mission because I was like, "This sucks. This is not fun." Let me try the second mission, and then I think I got to the boss of that. It was just a dude.
Listen, I played mission 3 first, and I went down the chute twice and turned this shit off. It's like, nope, I'm not. If that is the first thing that's going to happen to me, I know I'm going to hate this fucking game.
Well, the indicator for me was I played the game, and I was like, okay. How much longer do I need to play this? And I looked
40 minutes.
52 minutes left. 52. And I was like, oh my fucking God. I hate this game.
All right. Okay. The review continues. Honey, I Shrunk the Cops. The problem right off the baton. God, this one's full of puns. The problem right off the baton with Lethal Weapon is the scrunched graphics. The tiny Riggs and Murtaugh characters look more comic than cop-like.
They do look
and the villains are miniature miscreants. The standard backgrounds fail to save the game's graphics, and unfortunately, the music's not very good either. It would be more fun to stay at the firing range all day without earphones.
Man, I thought that Mission 2 music, I thought that was a jam.
There were some
I'm not gonna lie.
The music is the best part of this game.
I agree. I think some of the music was kind of a rocking.
Yeah.
You know? It fit. There was very little saxophone, which I found disappointing.
It made me think
like synthesized saxophone.
Yeah, I know. They really used that saxophone.
Ooh, boy.
Really used it. And I was like,
Too much saxophone.
It was too much.
Me.
It was like not regular sax. It was like sexy saxophone.
Yeah,
Or I was like, why are they playing sexy saxophone?
This guy's busting a drug deal. Why? Yet another Christmas reference. He busted a drug deal at a Christmas tree lot.
Yep. That is, well, okay, definitely a Christmas movie for sure.
Third thing.
Yeah.
3 things.
So many pieces of evidence.
Make it a Christmas
And there are
movie.
so many little plastic Santas on houses,
Yeah.
on the roofs too.
We got one more paragraph.
Okay.
Assume the position.
All right.
The action in Lethal Weapon is extraordinarily hard with repetitive and sometimes unfair gameplay. Yeah. You'll take hits from off screen and you won't be able to defend against some traps.
Dude.
Just when you think you've got it beat, your timer will run out. If you think that sort of challenge sounds like fun, pick this game up. It deserves a shot. After a couple of hours, though, you may want to take it out back and give it a couple of shots of another kind. Good review, Scary Larry. He gives it 3.5 for graphics, 3.0 for sound, 3.0 for control, 3.5 fun factor with a challenge level of advanced. Brad continues.
Still pretty high.
On the other side,
like he loathed it and he gave it pretty high.
Yeah. On the other side of the page, is the review for Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge.
Hey, I remember that one.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's bad, and it costs $64.95. That's $140.39 in 2024 money. Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge is a good game idea, but it doesn't have enough depth to keep it racing. That one got a lot lower scores than Lethal Weapon, which was 2 for graphics, 2.5 for graphics, 3.0 for sound, 2 for control, and 2 for fun factor.
Yeah, I do think that Lethal Weapon is better than Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge. I agree.
So
with
does
that.
GamePro, yeah.
I agree with GamePro in that regard.
Well, thank you, Brad, for that
Yes.
informative email.
Thank you, Brad. Yeah, man, where he's talking about traps. In Mission 2, there's a segment where like spikes shoot out of ledges and you have to platform on these ledges. And there's no indication which ones.
Cat Mario Spike style where
Dude, I thought about Cat Mario when I was playing this because this game has so many gotcha moments in it where it's just like the game is just it feels like it's trolling you the entire time where it's like, oh yeah, we didn't give you any clue that this was going to be there, so you couldn't sight read it at all, but now that you know it's there, you memorize it.
You have to remember.
And if you fall down from on high, you'll forget and you'll do it again.
Right.
We know this. We built that was a feature, not a bug.
If the controls were better, I feel like I could probably hang with this and be like, okay, because it gives me some vibes right off the bat. It gave me Blues Brothers vibes, which Blues Brothers is a SNES game that I liked, but I liked it for its weirdness. But I think it gave me those vibes because like the color palette is real fucking similar, which makes sense for me with Blues Brothers for whatever reason because they're done in this like cartoony style.
Right.
But Lethal Weapon, like after watching the 1987 movie,
they look like fucking characters from like Atari 2600 games.
It's crazy.
It was so
Call it
pixelated.
Wacky Weapons.
Wacky Weapons. Yeah. Yeah. Not a fan.
No weapon upgrades that I know of.
I didn't find any.
I mean, it's
That would have
just
been nice.
there were a lot of things missing from. It's a standard platformer, y'all. We want to level up. We want to be able to jump higher. We want a little invulnerability
I'd
from
like to
time
be
to
able to-
time.
I don't know. Aim my gun.
Yeah, shoot up would be fun.
This is like Mega Man.
This
or
is
Fievel Goes West, which was a better game in my
yeah, it
opinion.
was. It was.
Yep.
I mean, this is platforming 101, y'all. It's not like this is. I know it's a new, relatively early Super NES games, but lots of way better platformers had already come out. Take a page from that. If you're gonna diverge from the movie as much as you're going to anyway, add some power ups. Put in let Mel Gibson's let Riggs have a fucking flamethrower for a little while. Let's do this game Contra style. Fuck it. You know, let's make it fun.
Yeah, do something interesting.
And it's not fun.
Yeah, it's not,
frustratingly
it's not a
bad.
fun game.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Dave. Or like a beat 'em up would have been more acceptable, or a True Lies over the top
Oh,
shooter.
True Lies would have been that format actually would have been just right for this movie, just like for me it was for True Lies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison, Tyler.
I did like the mission select stage.
I did too.
That's the police station, and you can go to the locker room to switch between Riggs and Murtaugh.
I had that listed as a good thing.
I thought was a nice.
It's a neat touch.
That's a nice little touch. Yeah.
And I do like the fact that when you die, you get like 5 lives or whatever, and when you die, then you get to keep going as the other.
Yes.
As the one you didn't play initially.
However, sometimes I would spawn in, and it's like, oh, a dude's shooting me immediately.
As soon as you get there.
I mean, not even like a second goes by. It's like I spawn in as they're shooting me. And it's like, what the fuck?
Let's not forget how violently you're knocked back.
Oh yeah, Castlevania knockback is pussy mode compared to knockback here.
You are right. I mean, I honestly thought I had
died.
died.
Wilhelm scream every time you get fucking knocked back.
Because he screams so loud and he knocks back so far. I thought you only get one hit. I wasn't paying attention to the bar at the shield at the top, and I was like, Jesus.
Well, like,
am I
like
dead?
Your body armor flies off of your body. A whole bunch of shit happens at once, and it's like, what the fuck just happened?
It's like every time you get hit is the shotgun to the chest scene from the movie.
For sure. Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Did you guys have any achievements?
I have a few.
Got a couple.
I try to make up for my lack of achievements recently. I haven't been feeling as creative, so I did do a few. My first achievement, which is probably going to be on everyone's list, is I'm too old for this shit. I'm too old for this shit. You slide down the trash chute on mission 3 or whatever the fuck it is after making it to the 3rd floor or back to the very first level and have to navigate all the way back up and stop playing this game because I'm too old for this shit. I don't have that kind of time.
Time is a finite resource.
My second achievement is you're not trying to draw Psycho Pension, you're crazy. And to get, you're not trying to draw Psycho Pension, you're crazy. Suffer through this game enough to actually beat it.
Yeah.
My third achievement is Pitfall Harry. Nice. And to get Pitfall Harry, you incorrectly assume that you can land on top of the alligators in the sewer mission. Can't do that.
No, you
they
can't.
hurt you.
Yeah. Can't land on the sharks either.
Nope, they are not rideable animals. Keep that in mind when you play through this game, as I know you all will. My fourth achievement is Mad Max. And to get Mad Max, you beat the game without dying as Riggs. And my last achievement is Predator 2. And to get Predator 2, you beat the game without dying as Murtaugh.
Nice.
Danny Glover was in Predator 2.
Yeah.
So, those are my achievements.
Nice. Those are good.
Thank you.
I don't have as many as you do. I came up with 2. This is what I've got. Do you have any mustard? In order to unlock, do you have any mustard? Enter the locker room from the mission select stage to switch to Murtaugh and hear him say, "I'm getting too old for this." Next achievement.
Oh, God, I love it.
See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Don't forget to write. Ha 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 ha. In order to unlock that, die to the sewer gator in mission 2 while playing this game on a train.
Okay. Good references.
That's all I've got.
Good references. Deep cuts. If you will. Good.
My first one is jump the shark. Jump over the shark.
Yep. You can do a kick over it.
Or what approximates to a kick in this game.
Kick, bang, bang. Clear an enemy entirely. Clear level entirely with kicks.
Oh,
very
shit,
tough,
man.
Tough to do.
Yeah, they get hard.
Especially
with getting hard to kick. Later
especially with those guys that have the flamethrowers.
No shit.
Damn.
And rocket launchers.
My last one is Murtaugh Gaiden, and you do that by descending the ladders like speedrunners do in Ninja Gaiden, where you jump off the side and then grab.
They don't let you slide down anything in this fucking game. You can't slide down the ropes. You can't slide down the ladders. And it's like, y'all
too old for this shit.
Y'all gave me a fucking timer.
I know.
That is too short. Let me slide down ropes, please.
Yeah.
God. Good ones.
How much do you guys think this game is if you were to buy it loose? How much do you think you'd pay for it?
I mean, it's well after the movie came out, so it's not like a big tie-in they're trying to push.
I think it was tied into 2. And I think it was probably released at the time that 2 was, if I had to guess.
They didn't want to call it Lethal Weapon 2 because where's the first one?
For the same reason.
The first one could have been on NES.
We had that in a previous game recently where we played the wrong game or watched the wrong movie. It was, what was it? The movie was based on the sequel, but they didn't want to call it that, but call it part 2 because then it would have been assumed that there was a previous game and there wasn't. Somebody out in TADPOG Nation, tell us what that is. Or else
I can't remember.
Just
I remember it happening, but I can't remember what it was.
Same. I'm gonna say, given the franchise and the genre being not necessarily kid-friendly, I'm going to say this game was probably uncommon. And I'm going to say that the cost, man, I don't know why I care so much. $27.
$27?
Yeah.
The game was Karate Kid.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's the one. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
It's bothering me. Tyler, how much do you think you'd pay for this game? We can do Flopsy too.
I'll go a little bit lower and say $18.
$18 dues. What do you think, Flopsy? What do you think the availability and
I didn't give
rating?
a star rating. I said uncommon, and I think this game probably got 2.5 stars.
Okay.
Say common and 2 stars.
Okay. We'll start with the price. Actual retail value of Lethal Weapon for the Super Nintendo, loose, on average, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $13.66.
Very close.
Is it worth it?
Nope.
Let me work it. I'd buy it.
I'd just say for $13, why not?
I'd buy it.
Free shipping. That's get free shipping, and I'd say it'd
Good
be
luck.
worth buying.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But that's just from
Have
a
you looked at
collector's
Mercari? Mercari probably has Super Nintendo games out there.
I haven't in a long time.
Yeah.
Brandon of Axelay fame and also of Baby Mama fame. He actually is the person who told me about that years ago.
I use it to buy pops.
Okay. Yeah, I may check it out.
Discontinued pops. I've gotten some pretty sweet deals.
See what they've got.
A lot of times you can make an offer and they'll take it.
Well, the same with eBay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I forgot you could do that on eBay.
I do that a lot.
I bet.
And then, because that's fun. It's fun to not lowball like an asshole, but lowball, knowing that they're gonna.
Well, Mercari doesn't. When you say make offer, it gives you the offer to make.
Oh, really?
It says, this is the 20% off. This is 15% off. This is 10%. How much do you want to offer? But you can also message the seller and say, yo, will you take this? And they can set up a special thing for you. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I need to check it out because honestly, I have not been buying a lot of Super Nintendo games recently. Right. But when I get back into it, and I definitely will, I'm going to check out Mercari. But according to Flopsy, a.k.a. the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998, by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a mysterious shadowy benefactor, they give...
Which is also a character in Hades, too.
Oh, God. Right. My heart just stopped because I looked at the wrong game. And I was like, 3.5 stars? Let's burn the book.
I don't know.
That's what we'll do.
No,
we'll burn the
I don't
book.
think we'll get a third copy.
SNES Drunk said this was okay.
Really?
I disagree.
I also disagree. I didn't know that. I hadn't seen his video on it. Flopsy, wow. 1.5 stars.
Oh.
Ooh.
Uncharacteristically low for Flopsy.
This might be one of the lowest ones we've seen in
it might
Flopsy.
be.
Yeah.
Availability is uncommon.
We got it half right.
The reflections here from DA. I struggled with this one. No doubt the game is bad. But just how bad exactly? Ooh, Rex Ronan bad? Musia bad? I don't know that one.
Busia, yeah.
or maybe just good enough to be on mediocre Metal Morphs level. Indeed, at best, I do believe Lethal Weapon is more a 2-star game, but its never-ending list of unnecessary frustrations force my critical hand.
A surprisingly apt review from Flopsy. The rare, spot-on review from Flopsy.
Kudos, DA.
Nice. Let's read all of DA's reviews. Let's see.
I wish we could
like sort by.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Reviewer. We'll do a game. Did DA review it? No. Fuck.
I like it.
Did Kai do it?
Biased.
Fucking Kai.
Love a new bit. I love this.
Did DA review it?
DA review it. The district attorney? Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a beard, what kind of beard would you give it?
I would give it the running eye pus beard of one post-David fight Court Andrus of the Dark Tower, where it's blood and eye pus are dribbling down his face.
His face is a little pussy.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd give it the beard of Danny Glover at the beginning of Lethal Weapon that just does not look right at all.
I just like Danny Glover too much.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
The black sunglasses that he was wearing along with his leather jacket and swimming trunks when Fonz rode his motorcycle and literally jumped the shark.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Makes sense. What are we going to play next?
Let's see. I meant to bring that up. Let me bring it up real quick.
You want me to make you a wheel to spin?
Sure.
A clicky wheel?
I'll try to do that next time. The one we used to use for drawing for the toy box.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I've still got stuff in my toy box. If y'all have any ideas of how we'd like to raffle those off, let me know.
Ian has toys in the attic.
I do. Always will. They just get more and more, more and more toys in the attic every day. You ever seen The Toy starring Richard Pryor?
No.
It's upsetting.
Is it?
It's inappropriate as hell.
Well, yeah, you said Richard Pryor, so.
I mean, like, no, the subject matter.
Oh, really?
It was funny back in its time, and now when you look at it through like sort of the Revenge of the Nerds.
Gotcha.
Like, boy, that was great. And you watch it now, and you're like, that's fucking slavery.
Was it the point?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's Jackie.
I haven't seen it.
It's Jackie Gleason and Richard Pryor.
Okay.
So I don't know. Check it out.
So for new game out of the gate, not one we've done before. When I rolled a 20.
Okay.
Ooh,
it's a critical
so it's critical
success. Be a great game.
2d10.
20%.
Yep.
That's still that's two criticals if you're only rolling a D10.
So that puts us in the D's. The final game. Hey, the final game in the D's. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Okay. All right. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
I've never seen a Bruce Lee movie in my life.
Well, this one isn't a Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie about Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Close.
Ew.
It's very controversial.
Movie, so.
Very controversial movie. It'll be interesting to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah, the closest thing to a Bruce Lee movie I've seen is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's probably the most accurate Bruce Lee movie.
Enter the Dragon's a good movie.
Enter the Dragon is a good movie. I mean, his shit was good. It's like you can tell that Jackie Chan channels Bruce Lee in a lot of ways, only just sillier. You know, if that's the kind of thing you're into, if you haven't seen a Bruce Lee movie, check them out. They're fun. This is not a Bruce Lee movie. And that's in that sense. It's for some reason they made a video game about a biopic about Bruce Lee.
Probably gonna be good.
I hope they include all the family drama in the game.
I do.
I really.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be interesting.
You have to be your kids arguing over his estate.
It actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god! I hope DA reviewed it.
Please, DA, if you haven't reviewed it, do so now, because we know DA's listening.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You find the show on iTunes, not Stitcher, not SoundCloud, but on Spotify, YouTube, all over the goddamn place. Got lots of things going on, but most importantly, there's that Patreon.
This is the time on TADPOG when we talk about Patreon.
Nice.
I'm trying to robot dance like Sprockets. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/TADPOG. We have executive producers that donate $20 or more per month. Their names are, in non-alphabetical order, Cubicle Monkey, Plinko Nick Price, Usurper Grimm, Gamebug Prime, Nathan Eaton, Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Derek Pope Sandwich, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, and finally, last but not least, Louisville correspondent Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock Flavor Trick Taryn Dahl. Congratulations on your marriage. And thanks to Dane for putting the show on YouTube.
Thank you, Si.
Thank you, Si. And Brad, thank you again for your email. And that is all I got.
Cool.
We love money. Give us more. Love that money.
Hell yeah.
So our theme song is
Ricky
Moves
Bobby
by Sycamore Drive. Link that found in the show notes at TADPOG.com. Hey, you guys want to close it out?
It's Gary Busey.
All right.
A lucid Gary Busey. You choose.
Lucy Lucy.
Gary Lucy. Lucy.
So until next time, Tropical Capricorn Butthorns.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler. New episodes publish Wednesdays each week and are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you absolutely must send us a food item, please use caution and good judgment when doing so. Tasty snacks that look or smell funky or are past their expiration date by the time we get to them will be thrown away. Bonus content is available at patreon.com/TADPOG with a minimum donation of $1 per month. You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. Registration is free and we'd love to see you there. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show so you don't miss an episode. Now, where did I put that stinger? Oh, here it is. All right, go.
And now, a dramatic reading. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. No quick head in my bed. I can't have that. I want that long neck, not talking giraffe neck. Ain't no laying down, man. We bout to have late night fun. I'm about to make your balls stick up like space buns. Want your dick soaked? Place it down my throat. Tongue tickle yo dick, but not telling a joke. Pedal the pussy, that's how you rock a boat. It get live, this pussy. I'm not talking Periscope. In the sheets, I am a bully. Give more head than a hoodie. Every time you make me come, it look just like vanilla pudding. Sit on your face all day until you say, "Bae, it hurt me." Then I turn around and give the dick more kisses than Hershey's.
That's my favorite dramatic reading ever.
Well done.
Oh, fuck.
That song, when I first heard it, that song, I was like, man, I've never heard a song that's reminded me more of Brandon's dad.
What song is it?
CPR.
Okay, I never heard that.
I'll share it in
Holy shit.
Discord.
Oh, thank you, Tyler. That was amazing.